What's going on, guys? JPP Duo here. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. And for today's gameplay, we have an Adventures Pranks versus an Eldlich matchup with me as the prankster going first. Now, ideally, if you ever draw like this is one of the worst hands to start with. No hand trap negation with three different named prank his monsters in hand and no pandemonium to even combo extend. Pretty bad. But the one situation in which this hand is pretty good is if you want to do a 2-card full combo, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to start my combo off of a Roxy's normal because since I have a corridor in hand, I could banish out a prank's name from my hand. I'm going to keep the DD Crow, especially in this meta, the branded meta. DD Crow is a really good card to have. So I'm going to banish out Dropsies for this play over Fansies because I can recycle out my Dropsies from my banishment pile, add it back to my main deck, and that way I could go into Totally Awesome on my next turn once I use the Pandemonium on my opponent's turn. So that's going to be the whole play. So Meowmoo is on the field, Roxy's going to banish out Dropsies, draw into a prank its plays, not a great card, but okay. We get the Doodly Doo Surge for the Panday since we do want to go into a 2-card full combo. Corridor brings back my Dropsies from the banishment. I'm going to activate Place, search for a copy of Dropsies, and then go into Pandemonium into my Rocket Ride. Now before I did that play, I hope you guys understood something. Pandemonium locks you into Prank Kids monsters only, so before you do that play, you need to activate the Corridor to get your recycle and then go into Colossus before you commit your Pandemonium and get locked into Prankis only. So that's exactly what I did. Then I go into Rocket Ride. We're going to activate Place to boost up our Colossus to 3.1k. Go into Bow Wow, link off into my Roaster. Activate Rocket Ride. We're going to target the Bow Wow plus the Doodly Doo, put them on the field. Doodly Doo activates, and right here, guys, okay? This is the point in a 2-card full combo that if you do not start with pranks in your hand or do not have a way to get a named monster that goes into your butler combo or have a monster in hand that goes into your butler combo in your hand, you will not be able to get pranks from the graveyard and put it in your hand if you don't already have it, because you need to get a card, a name that goes into butler if you want to go into butler on the opponent's turn through Pandemonium play. But fortunately, we do have one, so we can fish out the pranks plus the Panday. We can activate pranks, set down our Panday, and end our turn. Pranks can activate, recycle 3 cards, draw into another Prank's plays. Not that great card, but okay. Opponent's draw phase, we obviously activate Bow Wow, and get our 2 cards in hand, and it goes over to opponent's side. Now the opponent started with a Lava Golem. Pretty bad on my side, as I told you guys. This guy is playing an Eldlich deck, which is an extreme back row deck, as you guys already know. So Roaster would have been an FTK. Unfortunately, he started with Lava Golem, so Roaster does go away. Now, with the Roaster pop and going to the grave, we do have a few options that we can add to our hand or the extra deck. I chose to add back the Corridor, because Corridor now, if I add it back, becomes my follow-up play for my next turn if I do use the Meowmoo and banish it out. So keep that in mind. I'm doing this for a follow-up play for my next turn. Activates Golden Lord from his hand, targets the Pandemonium I have set on the field. Obviously, that's the card he goes for. So we're forced to use the Pandemonium right here, right now. But keep in mind, guys, I am not going into my Butler play. Once again, I have said this before a lot of time in my previous videos. When you are facing up against a back row set deck, especially an Eldlich back row set, don't ever go into your Butler, okay? It's just a useless card on the field because the Golden Lord, if it's not banished out somehow, can activate from the grave and it gets put on the field with 3.5k attack. And it's immune to destruction through card effects, so your Butler at that point does absolutely nothing. What you want to do, however, is play around floodgates. Floodgates like Goza Match, floodgates like Rivalry, that outright kill prank kids completely. You want to play around that. And to play around that, you need to put Weather Washer on the field. Now to go into Weather Washer, keep in mind the cards you need to pick are your green and red Prank Kids monsters, namely your Fansies and your Lamsies, because that way you can put 2 copies of your Dropsies on the field. So the way to play around the floodgates is that Rivalry says that you can only control 1 attribute monster. Rivalry says you can only control 1 type of monster. Gozen says you can only control 1 attribute of monster. Now, your Weather Washer is Water Attribute Aqua type. Dropsies, Water Attribute Aqua type. And your Roaster, your Prank Kids Roaster, Water Attribute Aqua type. So if you did not go into Roaster before, what you can do is on your next turn, you can go into Roaster by normaling out another Dropsies from hand in case you have it or a way to search for it, and pop your opponent's back row completely. You have to pray they don't have Solemn Judgment or Solemn Strike, but aside from that, if you get it, it's game over for your opponent. You win the game outright from there on. So you want to do it that way. And also, Weather Washer on activation will bring back Bow Wow plus Doodle Doo on the field, which are big resources you can utilize to go into Nightmare, Access Code, Goddess, anything. So it brings a bunch of useful resources on the field as well. So the opponent sets down 2 cards, activates the Heavenly Prison from hand, he activates the Haquero at the end of the turn, to which I respond with my own activation of Weather Washer. Once again, I do have a follow-up play with the Corridor, so I am going to banish out Meowmoo from my graveyard for this Weather Washer's effect activation. Now, I have made a mistake on the card placements on the field. Ideally, what you want to do is that you want to get your graveyard activations before you go into Weather Washer, and then you chain your Weather Washer to the activation of the Prank Kids place, target your Bow Wow plus Doodle Doo, and have them facing each other. So ideally, you want like Bow Wow Bark right here or right here, and Doodle Doo on the right of it. So your Bow Wow would boost up your Doodle Doo to 3.3k attack, and your Prank Kids place activation would boost up your Doodle Doo to 3.5k attack, which is enough to whack over your opponent's Eldlich monster. If you just put it on the field at 3.5k, it's enough to whack over it. So ideally you want to do it that way, but once again, the placement is a mistake on my part. He gets a Scarlet Sanguine set on the field, that's okay, he passes his turn over. So first order of business you want to do, if they do not activate Floodgates on your draw or standby phase, is straight away going Totally Awesome. Because if they have a Solemn Judgment set on the field, they will use the Judgment to negate the Totally Awesome summon itself, and blow away half their life points and a negate on the Solemn Judgment. So Totally Awesome comes on the field, no Solemn Judgment, good for us. Activate Corridor, get a free body on the field, go up into Nightmare. Now this Nightmare, you need to target strategically, okay? We know for a fact this card is Scarlet Sanguine, he showed us when he set it down, but I don't know what these 2 cards are. I'm more worried about these 2 cards than this card because I can use Totally Awesome Omni to negate this card out, and the Golden Lord does not come on the field. And even if it does come on the field, I have access code pop, so I could pop that card as well. So I'm going to target one of these 2 cards. I target the one on the right, and turns out one in the middle is Conquistador, one on the right is another Scarlet Sanguine, which I use Totally Awesome to negate. Now I know once again he has no skill drain set on the field. So what I'm going to do is use Totally Awesome, negate, and pitch the Dropsies in my hand. So in case something does happen and the game goes haywire and I cannot kill the opponent this turn itself, my Omni Negate will be online on the opponent's turn as well. So you gotta think about it that way. With that, I yoink the Scarlet Sanguine from the graveyard as well. Now he puts the Heavenly Prison on the field. Since he put the Heavenly Prison on the field and searches for a pot of E, this means it's practically game over at this point because I'm going to do my normal summon Fansies at this point, go into access code, and whack him for game. That's pretty much game over. The opponent does realize it, and he scoops the game off of that. That's going to be it for today's game, guys. If you guys do enjoy this kind of videos, please consider hitting the like button, subbing to my channel for more daily prank and video uploads. And if you guys are interested in the live version of all this, I do live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/jpbduel. Link along with my schedule and a link to my Discord will be in the video description stuff for you guys to check out. This is JP Duel signing off for today. I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace!